Round one, got ourselves a great hand here. So Courier into Skiff into Genius. Nice turn progression. All right. Sky Skiff. So at this point, Bomat Courier is likely just going to be a discard your hand, draw 2 card, which is fine. Renegade Freighter's really nice here. So we'll do it post-combat. Even if my opponent has impeccable timing, I'd much rather they do it on the freighter, or the skiff than the freighter. So next turn we can crew both of our vehicles too, which is nice. It's nice seeing Courier do something when it's not attacking. Even a 1-mana 1/1. Still helping us get in there. And honestly, Courier may not be the worst shrewd negotiation trade. Give my opponent a 1/1 that they can't even activate, likely. Get whatever bomb creature they have. Oof. Wait, my opponent just did that so they could leave up Ornamental Courage? Is that what I'm to understand here? So if I attack, I guess my opponent could kill the... Well, no, they would lose like the mechanic. Ooh. So I can actually... Well, the problem is Malfunction doesn't work against Ornamental Courage. So I guess that bounce doesn't make a ton of sense unless my opponent has Ornamental Courage. Do I want to trade a freighter for a mechanic and an Ornamental Courage? I guess sort of, yeah. So let's just play the Genius so I can crew both of my things. I'm totally willing to trade a freighter for 2 cards. I think it's a worthy trade. So we just got to make sure the mechanic goes to the front, because if I put the Seed Sculptor in the front, my opponent loses nothing. All right. Hey, you know what? That's a 2-for-1 I'll take too. Fine with that. All right, no land play, so opponent's in pretty big trouble now. So do we even want to loot? Probably not, but we're going to pre-combat this. All right, opponent's decided the game's likely over, which I probably agree with them on. So let's just not show us any more cards. All right. So green, white, multiple 2-drops. That's all we know. So in terms of actual sideboard cards anyway, what do we have? We have a Sky Whaler Shot, a Puzzle Knot. Neither of these look amazing based on the 2 cards we saw. I guess Disappearing Act for like expensive bombs in a pinch. Select for Inspection, another trade win. So we actually Hijack, Demolish. We actually have a decent collection of sideboard cards, but we're definitely going to have to see more before we make decisions on any of those. So I feel like with this hand in particular, we have our splash color, but no red mana. We have two of our 5-drops in our most expensive card. We do have a Foundry Inspector, which makes the Mastodon cheaper. We have a Fire Weaver, which is going to require red mana. So this hand is actually, I'm trying to decide if I like or dislike this hand. See, the thing is, if I get the 3rd mana to play the Inspector, I can play the Mastodon off the 4th mana, right? And then this only costs 5. So these kind of could play out well, especially if I draw a red mana, right? Because Fire Weaver into Inspector into Mastodon. But having these two makes this hand slightly less impressive. This is a bit of a tough decision, actually. I guess there's quite a few things I could draw, though. I'm kind of tempted to keep this. Like, yeah, I mean, there is quite a few things I could draw. I think we're going to keep it. This maybe is a risky keep, but I've got high hopes for this hand. I mean, we draw a Mountain, and we're in some real business. We draw a Prophetic Prism. I'm happy enough with that, too. Oh, that's not the first card you want to see your opponent play. All right. We're in Foundry Inspector territory, which means we could very easily be into Bastion Mastodon territory, too, if we draw another land. Oh, 3-color. 2 can play at this 3-color game. All right, opponent's going to make a servo. I'm all right with that. All right, so we get to go Inspector into Mastodon, which is pretty good. I guess technically opponent could kill the Inspector, but that's okay. Sky Whale is pretty good. Yeah, I think we get the 4-power flyer out. Not attacking with the Inspector here. So opponent's going to be able to start spitting out progressively growing construct artifact creatures because Ovia is a filthy 1-drop, but I guess at least we're pressuring our opponent now. I think that's better than the Mastodon. All right. Trade wins. Yeah, that actually is pretty good in this spot since I imagine bouncing a big construct is going to be in our best interest. So let's first just get a Mastodon down, since Mastodon can at least block a 4/4 construct as well. Or a 3/3 construct. Is other creatures? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. It's a 3/3. That makes sense. That does make sense. So now he's going to make a 4/4 and then a 5/5 and progressively growing. If we draw a land now, we can get the Serpent down, which should be pretty sexy. Well, that's too bad for us. Let's see here. P-foul, sure. Oh yeah, it's cheaper. So we're still a land away from Gear Seeker Serpent, which is pretty good. Seems pretty bad for us. Okay. Sky Skiff. No red mana yet, sadly. So I guess we'll just jam a Sky Skiff and then pass the turn. We'll have to, like, I guess, trade win something. So we might actually want to just cast Ambition at this point because we're going to have to kill. We're just going to have to kill Ovia. So I can activate the Skiff, block the Cobra, bounce it and the 4/4. I suppose. Opponent should have used Ovia in response. Glad they didn't. Okay, so we have a Courier and another in the Sky Skiff. And then I guess technically at that point we can play the Serpent. Okay. So we're back to having a game plan at least. So let's play the Courier. Oh, yeah, Courier's free too. I forgot. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, we're still 1 mana short of this. But next turn we can jam it. So we don't really want to attack with the Inspector because our opponent can just make a thing and block and kill it. I mean, I want to trade my Bomad Courier for the Cobra. The problem being if I don't draw land, I can't play my Serpent. So I think we're just going to take this one. I mean, also I want to get my opponent's dudes off the table too. And we did draw land, so I guess I could have blocked, but that's all right. So let's play the Serpent pre-combat, and the reason that we're doing this is if our opponent were to kill the Sky Skiff or one of our artifacts, I guess technically we could still play the Serpent, so maybe that wasn't something I needed to do. Sure. So I can play the Ambition. I think we will. Although, maybe can I erase my opponent? My opponent gets a 4/4 now, and they get to smash back with everything. I have to pay the Gear Seeker to get in for 5 because of the Cobra. The problem is it's a 4-turn clock, which is certainly too slow to ever possibly overcome this. So I think we have to Ambition and find our Helix to take out Ovia. Or even take out the Cobra. Well, I guess I have to take out Ovia. So why don't we just Ambition, I guess. We need to find some good action here. But yeah, 4-turn clock is too slow. So I think we're better off dealing with Ovia first if we can, and then starting to get in. Well, Malfunction, I guess, does deal with the Cobra, but Gear Seeker can't really safely attack into this mess already. So let's play a Mountain and pass. All right, so looks like Ovia's probably just going to win my opponent the game. I gotta rip the card like right now. Not that one though. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I win here. I'm trying to think. If I malfunction the Cobra, I still can't attack without making this unblockable. I need to like build a board presence, I guess, but it's getting challenging. I guess it's our best move. We got to build a board presence before I can even start attacking with Serpent. Because otherwise my opponent can smash back for more damage than I can get in for, plus not have to pay 6 mana to do so. So having to pay 6 mana to go unblockable, as well as my opponent being on a 4-turn clock, as well as my opponent having a bigger board presence, is all leading to this game's probably not going to be ultra successful. But we gotta do what we can here. I haven't gotten to play with Ovia yet. I've played against her many, many times, and she has always felt extremely overpowered and limited. If she just made 1/1s, she'd only be really good. Making dudes that constantly grow is just kind of absurd. I guess I could have double blocked, but then I would have lost my Serpent, which seems bad because it is. Alright, well, we're just drawing lands now, so how much is my opponent going to smash back for? Probably just a bajillion, right? So I take this, plus take this. That's 11 damage I take, at least. And then I trade for this, I block this. 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've already reached the point where it's lethal. So I guess we'll just lock this down. We're just fighting a losing battle at this point. So I think in order to beat Ovia, we're basically just going to have to see our Chandra's Pyrohelix. I'm talking about next game. This game is definitely over at this point. But yeah, I've lost many games to Ovia, so I'm not really surprised. Like I said, this card is and Nissa too. That's kind of funny. I can't believe we beat our opponent game one. Actually, I guess I can. They got mana screwed, so that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, this does not seem winnable, does it? Oh, I guess I shouldn't have done that so I could loot, but I wanted to get in with Gear Seeker Serpent. I guess I could have anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm just supposed to give up. Because now, I mean, it doesn't matter what card I loot, right? Does it? It really doesn't, right? I don't think it does. Maybe I'm just hoping to see more cards from my opponent. Oh, so my opponent's just got one of the strongest decks in the format. Okay, got it. Just rare into rare into rare. Alright, let's just concede. That is GG's. Well, at least we got some more info. They did the pre-combat Aetherstorm Rock just to show us how ridiculous their deck is. So Puzzle Knot technically deals with Ovia, but at way too premium of a price. The funny thing is we could actually Shrewd Negotiation for Ovia and still pay for it off a Prophetic Prism. Disappearing Act is a way to counter Nissa, as well as, I guess, Ovia if it's top decked late, or the Aetherstorm Rock. So maybe Disappearing Act is actually something we want. I could see that. A counter spell for all the good things. And we'll swap it out for a something. Is Shrewd Negotiation not that good? Basically, stealing Ovia is pretty not that good. Stealing the Rock would be okay. You can't steal Nissa. I'm not opposed to Shrewd Negotiation swap, I guess. Don't really want to cut a creature. We're already at 14 and we have 3 vehicles, so I don't like that. Alright, I guess we'll cut Negotiation. Alright, we'll play first. This hand's pretty bad. This hand is pretty bad. It doesn't do anything. It requires everything. I'm pretty, to be honest, I'm pretty tempted to just mulligan this hand. Like, it really does not do anything. Completely reliant on drawing spells, right? For the rest of the game, on top of that. I only want to draw spells for the rest of the game. And if I don't, I am literally just dead. I think I need better than this. It just doesn't do anything. All right. This hand is not exactly what I was looking for either, but it'll do. Keeping the Theorist on top because I probably want some scry effects. So I guess we get to go Skiff into Genius, which isn't too bad. Get to attack with a flyer on turn 3, which is good. No Ovia either, which is nice. No 2-drop. I guess that's nice too. So we'll see if the skiff gets impeccably timed. Does indeed. All right, it's pretty bad news bears for us, but what can you do? All right, drawing lands at any point for the remainder of the game is also going to be bad, but unavoidable. So I'm not going to scry at the beginning. All right, this is fine actually. If I was going to draw anything when you're getting flooded, draw 3 is pretty good. So get rid of the mountain. And then we can scry. Yeah, it's going to be tough. So let's scry here, probably bottom any land. Malfunction. Malfunction doesn't really do that much. What am I digging for? Cloud Blazer? Flyers? Alright, I think we're digging for flyers here. Probably going to just try and race that way if we can. Well, there's a flyer, so we can go Courier, P-Foul, cast Serpent next turn. What's her ultimate again? Oh, and she already can emblem. Yeah, it seems like a pretty powerful planeswalker. All right. So I can't triple block and kill it. If I chump, I can't play the Serpent. Maybe I needed to scry. I should have scried first to see if there's a land on top to see if I could afford to chump here. But now I can't because I didn't think about it. So it turns out there was a land on top. Now I don't want the land though. Another land anyway, so we'll drop the, I guess if I drop this, can I cast this? I can do the Prism plus the, is that right? I play Prism, this is cost 4 mana, yeah, I guess we can do both. Okay, so we're going to lose our Serpent now. I don't think I have any ways to deal with the Warden in my entire deck either, do I? Guess not. Oh, that's too bad for us. So I guess we can scry, monitor, and then I could loot that away, so I could maybe take 6 here. All right. And then a freighter and no more loot. All right. Pretty serious trouble here. So I guess the plan is to block with freighter and monitor on the Edgecrafter. So these two have to be blocked, right? So where does that leave me? I need 2 to crew this. So I guess I can go this, double block the 6/7, and then I have to chump with something. That's another thing I can do. Okay, I guess I can crew the freighter, double block the Edgecrafter with the monitor and the freighter, kill that, and then block the courier on the Cobra and the theorist on the thing, the chump there. Or I guess vice versa, so we force our opponent to give Death Touch. Not that that's difficult for them. So we'll do the Quicksmith Genius. Crew here. All right. Opponent decides us crewing is okay. So we'll do this. All right. So we lose a lot of things. We're left with not much. We have no life. Should have attacked with the Warden too. Maybe not. I mean, Doesn't really matter. All right, we'll untap, we'll draw a Fire Weaver, and concede. All right, we'll see you guys around 2.